Welcome to the program. Today, I'm Amarachi Ubani. We'll begin with news just in Nigeria about the federal government announcing putting a ban on Twitter in the country. The federal government had earlier today announced that it was banning Twitter in Nigeria. This may be linked to the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, announcing the suspension in a statement issued today, citing the persistent use of the platform activities that are capable of undermining Nigeria's corporate existence. The minister said the federal government has also directed the National Broadcasting Commission to immediately commence the process of licensing all OTT and social media operations in Nigeria. Let's discuss this. Our correspondent, Channels Television correspondent Victor Matthias is joining us now on the program. Victor, thank you. And I know this is breaking news, so we're still learning, the details, also learning, how this would impact. But what are your initial thoughts on this? First of all, how this impacts, on free speech and, Nigeria in general, and how soon this ban, takes effect in the country.
Well, so let me begin with the last question, how soon it begins in the country. So like you said, the process has begun. The NCC the NBC and the NCC will begin the process. What this means is they're going to blacklist the web address, that's www.twitter.com in Nigeria. So all internet service providers, all telecommunication network providers, they're all going to blacklist the site. So that way, even if you log on to the platform, you can't be able to connect. And this means so much, it has a lot of repercussions. It means loss of jobs for a lot of young Nigerians. It means loss of the means of communication. It means loss of a way of pretty much, watering down or being happy with all of the things that are happening in the country. Twitter is somewhere that a lot of people go there, not just to get their information. They go there for jokes. They go there for so many things. So this ban on Twitter is going to take its toll so much on Nigerians. Free speech, yes. This is also going to be, let me put it quote unquote, like a violation of the free speech of so many people, because we've been talking about digital rights in this country for so many years, and then this is happening. This is a setback to trying to attain or even achieve digital rights for a lot of people. And that, of course, will also affect free speech. And I mean, this is going to take its toll on so many young Nigerians, because this is where a lot of people make their daily bread from. This is where a lot of people go to get their mental state in the right corner. So it's actually going to take a lot of toll on a lot of people. But that is not to say, Amarachi, that people cannot log on to Twitter. I mean, we have what is called a VPN. So with a VPN, you can actually be able to remotely connect to Twitter without being able, without the authorities locating your location and what platform you are connecting to a particular site from.
Yeah, Victor, thank you, for clearing that up, the implications and so on, because one important thing that you mentioned was how much businesses would be lost, because a lot of people do depend on Twitter, these social media platforms, to advertise their businesses. So what other alternatives, apart from Twitter at this point, can Nigerians latch onto? Because, well, you didn't talk about free speech much, but the problem really is for people to have an avenue to express themselves. So in the event that, Twitter, which moves faster than lightning most times, what other alternatives can they have? And how else can they protect themselves on social media from the government clampdown?
Well, so one of the things that I think would come into play now is because Twitter had only a limited number of characters when you were typing, and so we have what is called social fatigue. On Facebook and Instagram, you have the ability or the freedom, to perhaps write in a longer form. Twitter gave people that ability to put their thoughts in a very brief but concise manner. So now the alternative would have to be the platforms that were available before Twitter came on board, which is Facebook, which is Instagram, and whatnot. You can also, for those who are doing businesses, they can also continue their businesses. And I am very sure that those who are doing businesses on Twitter were also doing their businesses. They were also advertising on those other platforms. They were actually working, hand in hand. The people didn't really just stay focused on Twitter. So they were also putting their thoughts and their businesses on Instagram as well as Facebook. What this actually just means is that people will have to fall back to what is available. As they say, when the preferable is not available, the available becomes preferable.
Yeah, and I know that Twitter, let's talk about the impact this would have on Twitter itself, not having access to the Nigerian market, because millions of Nigerians do make use of Twitter. So talk about that.
Well, Amarachi, I mean, there is no business that will get shut down in Nigeria that would not feel the impact. Nigeria, one, has the numbers, and the numbers translate into the market, and the market translates into the coins. I mean, you can't operate a business anywhere in the world. If you have noticed in recent times, big investors have been investing in Nigerian companies, fintech, edtech, all of the techs that we have. So Nigeria is a key market for any business globally. So to have your business and your operations shut down in Nigeria, it's actually a big hit. But that is not to say that Twitter will not survive. I mean, they have their head office in our near neighbors, Ghana, and also Ghana also has a large number of people who use Twitter on a daily basis. They would feel the impact for a bit while they try to make inroads in other places. But I think that they would feel the impact. But I believe that they would be smart enough. I mean, they would have seen this coming because they took down the president's tweets twice. So it is something that they should have seen coming. And I want to believe that they were smart enough to make what would I call a contingency plan just in case, this happened. But if in case they didn't see it coming and then it comes, well, I believe that, like they say, when desperate measures is what you bring when you have desperate times. So definitely Twitter might find a way to, make their business continue to thrive in Africa without Nigeria. It just means that Nigeria will be lagging behind because economically our youth will be at danger. I mean, they would risk all of the income. Like I mentioned, Twitter is in Ghana, so they offered jobs to so many Africans, and they offered jobs to Nigerians also remotely. Yeah. So what happens to all those people that would have been working for Twitter remotely in Nigeria without moving to Ghana? That means they can't work because automatically, if Twitter is down, their business, their workflow won't go. Influencers, those who we call influencers on Twitter, can't influence anything. Those who have businesses on Twitter can also put out their businesses for people to see, and people who go to Twitter, to get their daily consumption of news. I mean, imagine the number of people who are commuting now, Amarachi. This is traffic time. People are commuting from Victoria Island, to Ikoyi.
And there is a lot of information you can actually read from Twitter. You're talking about the traffic. A lot of people do monitor the traffic via Twitter. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so a lot of things. I'm more questions are popping in my head. As I'm talking to you, the backlash this would have, on the job market. So much, to discuss. Victor, thank you so much. And I know that this story is still unfolding. We're still learning, what Twitter's response will be to this, and the federal government's rebuttal. But thank you again, for coming very quickly to speak about this. Victor Matthias, our tech correspondent. Thank you.